One time I had to attend one doctor's appointment. I went into the clinic and I remember seeing this very small waiting room with a lot of people. There were like 10 to 15 people with only 5 seats. And I remember me going into this environment, I felt very anxious. Back at this point, I was watching a lot of YouTube videos about body language. I thought that I knew every single body language, I can read everybody. But most importantly, I thought that with my body language, I can kind of appear confident and kind of hack my mind just so I don't feel anxious. And that's what I tried to do. I went there, I tried to be as confident as possible, I tried to take on as much space as possible and make these confidence body language poses that people on YouTube are talking about. And they didn't work. Whatever I did, just my body was closing all the time. I was crossing my hands, I was just crossing my ankles, you probably can imagine. And nothing worked. From the inside, there was like this little voice saying, close up, close up, close up, like defend yourself, basically. And this got me to the idea that is body language fixing your mind, fixing your soul? Or first you need to go within, then without, like with everything else. And the answer is obvious that everything needs to be fixed from within, and then the outside will take care of itself. Because there are probably situations where you feel completely the opposite. You're in a safer environment, let's say at home, and you feel like you stand like a king, like taking so much space, feeling so comfortable, not caring about your body language, being open, making all these positions naturally. Because I feel like if you don't feel good from within, you start to make these positions forcefully. They don't reflect your inner state. And I can tell you something, when you're in these anxious situations, closing up feels comfortable. The same way like at home, opening up feels comfortable. We feel comfortable depending on what's inside of us. So these situations, let's say in the outside world, let's say social situations, they bring up some emotions inside of us which make us close. It's not the other way around. You cannot really hack your body language. You cannot really stand like this and make all of your problems within disappear. That's what I'm trying to tell you in this video. And these YouTube videos that you're probably watching about body videos, they're selling you this dream that once you have a confident body language, then everything from within is going to take care of itself. You're not going to feel a certain way anymore. And body language is yet another outside thing that we try to fix our internal state with. And this is so crazy. Because as I told you, you feel comfortable depending on your inner state. Doesn't it make more sense to work on the inner state? It's like having a car with a broken engine and just putting new tires, new spoilers, new lights. What is the point? If you don't fix the engine, if you don't go to the cause of the issue, then no matter what you put on the outside, no matter how the car appears to other people, it still doesn't fix the problem. And you see that the more you work on yourself, the more you do the things that I speak about in this video, like going in yourself, analyzing yourself, letting go of some things that you don't need, accepting who you are, accepting your past, accepting the people, accepting the current situation. You're going to see that you do this confident body language poses more and more because that's how you feel like. Otherwise, you become too much in your mind, guys. You probably notice this about yourself, but this is definitely me. I go in a certain social situation in my head. Am I appearing confident? If I stand like this, oh, no. Shouldn't stay like this. I should be, taking more space. I should have this dominant body language. This body language reflects how you feel on the inside. And you can force it as much as you want. There's one very nice book, David Hawkins, Power versus Force. I haven't read it yet, but I just know a couple of examples from there. Power versus force. Force is when you force something. When you try to do something regardless of how it feels, regardless of how it actually is, like, forcing a car, let's say, is when you try to press the gas down when it's only on first gear. The car starts to rum because you force it. You literally force the car. That's literally the phrase, at least in Bulgarian. You force the car. But once you kind of let go, you put on second gear, third gear, then the car is not so forced. Then you have power. It's like you don't have enough horsepower, but you try to force the car to be fast. It doesn't work like this, guys. You need to have horsepower. That's the conclusion of the video. You need to have power within yourself. The body language, the charisma, the attraction, the success will come after that. You cannot be successful if you're stressed, anxious, fearful, with negative thoughts, with a lot of pride, with so much desire, attachment. Yes, you can be, but for 5 years, 10 years, and you burn out. It's all forcing, but once you have the power within yourself, your body language will take care of itself. And body language is yet another thing on the outside. And maybe I need to make a separate video for everything that is on the outside, every single little thing. Because it's not only body language, it's, I don't know, eye contact, charisma, way of speaking, I don't know, just looks, just money, status, all of these things. Once I have a confident body language, then I'll feel very good about myself. Once I have money, then I feel very good about myself. It's always the same story over and over again. And all of these things kind of try to distract us from what's the real problem. If you have an apple tree and the root is sick in some way, has a disease, the roots that are in the ground, no matter what you do, you're not going to have good apples. Mental health, well-being, I don't know, soul, mental state, however you want to call it, this is the most important thing. Everything else comes after that. It's all a reflection of how you feel inside. And next time you feel anxious, don't try to force a body language. Try to ask yourself, why do I feel anxious in this situation? Why did I feel anxious in this situation back then in the waiting room? Maybe because I was fearing being judged. Why do I fear being judged? Because I don't want to be rejected. Why do I not want to be rejected? Because I want to be accepted. Why do I want to be accepted? Because I want to feel good enough. Why I don't feel enough to begin with? And this is the real question. Why not? And I tell you in almost every single video that you should feel good enough to begin with. And everything else that tells you that you're not good enough is just conditioning. It's just something that you don't need, something that you need to unlearn. But this is a topic for another video. Thank you so much for watching. It doesn't matter your body language as long as you feel good. Because even if you feel good on the inside, and even if you make a weird body language, it's still your charisma will shine through. You still feel good in you. You know what's the thing, guys? If you feel good, you don't care. If you feel good, you don't analyze anything. You're not in your head so much to look at the reaction of other people to seek their approval. You just don't care. Whenever you are the happiest, you just didn't care. You have no thoughts. And that's how it should be.